All right, what's up, traders? We're going to come back with just one final episode of this Zero to Hero training Brad there. And we've basically left it for a couple weeks here. We essentially did what was almost a month. We took a little bit of a break, and now we're just coming back, and we're going to talk to Brad, and we're going to see what his actual experience is now. Maybe he's going to be able to give us a little profit logs. He's going to be able to give us a little bit different outlook on how he's viewing the market now, knowing that he was more of just a fundamental type of guy, just kind of doing longer term things. I really want to see how his trading style has been affected now that he's got more of this actual technical knowledge, much more of this deep advanced knowledge aside from just standard, trend lines, Fibonacci, all of this general stuff that you learn from, everywhere else and on baby pips and whatnot like that. And we'll actually see if he's made any improvements. Let's jump into it. What's up, guys? I got Brad on the line here, and we're just going to have a quick chat about pretty much summing up what's going on in his trading life now. He's got a few changes he wants to just talk about. I think what we're going to do is if we can just jump into maybe him just summarizing how his experience is now compared to when he was just simply trading more of the longer term things, how this day trading the day trading logic has helped him in his swing trading.
So I mean, since starting all of this, I will actually start off with the fact that the swing trading stuff I've been doing, I've been getting a lot better entries since learning a lot of this stuff. It's something I've actually been talking in the Discord group about with a bunch of people. But the one thing that I've taken away from this the most has definitely been learning the entries better, so I'm not having these drawdowns on my swing trades anymore. And yeah, I've definitely been doing a lot more of the day trading stuff as well still, catching a few good trades here and there. It's been a couple slow weeks, I'd say. Like, I haven't really been pushing trading as much recently, but that's work related and whatever.
Yeah.
And I mean, the market's been a bit crazy, so it's been one of those couple of weeks where everything's been flowing a bit mental.
Yeah, I totally understand, and that's perfectly fair. We take a walk away a little bit here. That's why the video is coming out just a couple weeks a little bit later, this sum up video there. Something you said just caught my ear there, is that you're not getting these drawdowns on your swing trades now. So it seems like you're still going for those same swing trades, but you're getting much better entries. Are you specifically looking for something that's telling you when you want to be entering?
Yes, it's been watching those sweeps of the highs and lows is what I've mostly been using for entries for anything swing related. And I guess as well for getting out of trades now, I'm using those order block areas and just areas of of notice. It's not just support and resistance anymore. It's kind of like a better overview of why the price is going to start bouncing or rejecting and stuff like that.
Yeah, perfect. That's great. And then you can get these little better exits and whatnot. When the trend's going to actually reverse. Cool. So you talked about with me briefly before we started the recording here that you stopped your blue effects, that you initially said at the very start of this series that you were trading for blue effects. Just elaborate on that briefly for us.
Yeah, I think the thing with blue effects is I mean, I noticed this with day trading even, but more the swing trading is you couldn't really do a proper risk to reward a lot of the times. The leverage kind of held you back. So since switching over to using my own funds, it's definitely been a lot easier to be able to risk the proper amount per trade. I can actually get a 1 or 2% risk, and because of that, I'm seeing these trades where I'm making maybe 3 or 4% on a trade.
Awesome. Yeah, 3 or 4% on a 1% risk is great. That's really good. You're shooting for a farther R than I've been doing, so that's really, really great to hear. And in terms of your profit then, maybe I'll throw up a picture or something after you send me some sort of profit here of how you've been doing. How's the profit been?
Yeah, I mean it's been, well, I switched over to C Trader like 2 weeks ago, so my account's kind of like been reset a bit, but I mean, I think I switched over maybe last week, and I'm already up nearly 10% on what is in there now. It's starting
Yeah,
to get
wow.
quite consistent. I'm finding maybe 1 or 2% a day. It's been pretty much the regular recently.
Wow, yeah, that's actually really, really incredible. You think that's just the change of mindset, or you having just a really good week or something?
I think it's a bit of both. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
I've been catching some good moves. I mean, the market is just, it's constantly trending, so it's been a lot easier to kind of, notice a sweep and then be able to get onto that trade to kind of just carry on a trend almost. There's
Totally.
been a couple. I mean, one of the trades that I did do recently that went well was actually the opposite, but it's just been. I'd say this last 2 weeks for me has been quite good for just noticing a sweep and then getting on the trade and letting it be able to run almost. It's
Mm-hmm.
not. We haven't had too many of these like massive fake outs to either side. Like
Mm-hmm.
once I've been in the trade, it's pretty much been no drawdown as well. I've started noticing. So
Yeah, cool.
maybe it could just be one of those weeks, but I mean, we'll just have to wait and see at this point.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I think that's kind of, summing up how you're doing pretty well there. I don't think that there's a whole lot of other questions. If anyone's got any questions for Brad, leave a question in the comment there, and I'll see if we can answer it, or about what's going on with the lesson here and whatnot. I think what is best for us to do now is if you just show us an example of a great trade or an ideal setup that you think you're going to be hunting for now, and then that way the viewers can see your point of view in what you're looking for, and then that way they can kind of copy and look for the same exact thing, right, so that they can actually learn something from this series overall. So if you don't mind just screen sharing.
Yeah. Okay. So this was probably, wow. Yeah, this is probably the best trade I've taken since I've switched over the account onto C Trader now. So this was on pound Swiss. Obviously, this level was quite an important level, and we saw it sweep above during the Asia session, and then I picked this up quite early on in the day. I saw it sweep this high, and we kept wicking above it.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, instantly I could kind of tell we were going to see some sort of sell-off into. Well, I was expecting it a bit earlier on. It ended up going quite into the Asia session and the open of the London the next day. So there we go. Obviously, I had this level here as quite an important one. We saw a lot of orders trapped here, and then I think I was trying to get down to here because, again, quite an important support level, but
Yeah.
it rejected here, so I got out
But you got
pretty
a really
well, not pretty early on, but yeah, it was a really good risk to reward.
Yeah, 3.5R. That's a really great trade. That's pretty much ideal. So were you looking at the lower time frames or anything to pinpoint an entry, or was it just the hourly there? Do you know?
Let's double check. I think I just went off the hourly for this one, to be fair.
Okay, that's perfectly fine too.
I mean, it must have been around here somewhere that I got in.
Yeah,
But,
a little bit of a retrace after the dump down. I see.
Yeah, you can see on the 15-minute, it was testing this level definitely, and I think I took it on this wick after it failed to break over it again, and
Yeah.
after that, yeah, it pretty much went straight down. It was quite a smooth sailing trade.
Yeah, that's pretty much zero drawdown. And a lot of your trades are pretty much following a similar pattern now, aren't they? Or
Yeah, I'm starting to notice that. I mean, if I'm being smart with the trades, which I'm definitely trying to take more time into getting into the trades nowadays. I'm not
yeah.
rushing in, or I mean, what I was doing before is I would put an order in, and I would almost expect it to go into drawdown to get a better entry. And now I'm kind of, allowing it to wait to get to an ideal setup like this in order to get, a better risk to reward and be able to almost do a bigger lot size to be able to gain more. Where before, I was kind of forcing myself to have to be putting in 0.01s every time to make sure that, if I go drawdown, I'm not going to lose too much and I can position into a trade better.
Yeah, get those really tight stops and then in and out in the day, basically. Yeah, that looks great, man. Yeah, great work. I noticed, I don't remember if we actually talked about this last time. It was a few weeks ago, but I do notice you have the session times on now. Are you specifically trading a certain time of day now? I know we talked a lot about the session time in our lessons and the value of them, but just like to see your input on where you're trading now.
I'd say, I mean, obviously the opens are such a big time of importance that when it comes to it, I'd say most of my trades are either entered at the London Open or around the US Open / London close even. So like this one, we're looking a couple hours after London close. I mean, this one's probably a bit later than normal that I'd take, but obviously, one of the things we went through was, looking at this around the US session or the US Open, like halfway through the day of the London, where we're seeing this big, retrace almost, so that the US can get the similar price to what we were seeing in the London session. So, I'd definitely say the US Open is probably around the time that I look to get into trades, because you can kind of see, we had this sell-off, we had the retrace back up, and that was also another indication that, it's going to start selling off again.
And
so really, I could have even got into this trade probably up here.
Exactly, because that's the actual... I'm glad you see it too, because that's the actual supply zone there, and it actually wicked just slightly past. Just a little bit of a stop hunt there, it looks like, as you can see here. But but you still got in at a great entry either way. That looks great, man. Cool. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to share, with the viewers, or anything that you thought of importance. But if not, then we'll just kind of move on and call it a day.
No, I don't think there's too much. I mean, obviously, I'm always in the Discord if anyone does have any questions about how this has gone. And I'll probably keep track of everything that's going on in there if anyone does have any further questions for anything. Awesome,
man. I appreciate your time to create this series. Hopefully it was helpful to some people. I think maybe next time I teach somebody, we'll get some more actual lessons in. I'll probably teach my girlfriend next or something, and then we'll see an actual newbie learn. All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye. Alright guys, I hope that was actually helpful for some of you. As I said to Brad there quickly, I'm going to actually start a new series whenever my girlfriend's ready and she's willing to learn. I'm going to teach her how to actually trade, and she knows absolutely nothing. We might get her drunk for it. I don't know. It might be even funnier, just to have somebody like completely out of the loop trying to learn how to trade. I think that might be great. So we'll see how that goes. And if you guys do like this content, please make sure that you subscribe and hit the bell so that you can be notified when I go live, because those live streams are where you actually learn how to trade. Listen.